video I will show how I do my listening part 1 and 4. I pair them together because they look similar. Both of them have questions like a note completion, form completion, and most of the times it's a completion task where you are given questions with some words missing in them. And your task is to listen to the recording and hear those words and write them down. If you are gonna take paper-based, the minute you open your booklet, or if it is a computer-based one, the moment you click on the page with the listening, your recording will start automatically. So I'm gonna start from here as well. And at the beginning, it will be like some introduction, and I need that time to look through
Test
the questions.
4. This is the IELTS listening test. You will hear a number of different
So,
recordings.
if I look through the questions, I see the first word is missing in accommodation here. It says hotel, so it's gonna be a name of this hotel. Second one is a pounds here, so it's gonna be a price for family room per night. Okay, the third one is a and tour, so a noun and an article. In between I might have only an adjective, so I guess there is an adjective there describing what kind of tour it is. A trip by, so it's gonna be a transport to the old fort, could be a boat or ship, so ferry. And science museum, best day to visit, it is gonna be maybe weeks of the day, Monday, Tuesday, so on. See the exhibition about something which opens soon, so this might be a keyword. And we've got food, Clacton Market. It says good for some type of food, so it must be an adjective which describes the word food. Need to have lunch before some PM. PM means time, so it must be a time here. Theater tickets save up to something percent, so it's gonna be a number that I need to hear. And then climb Telegraph Hill to see a view of the something. It must be a noun. Let's see now if this recording started.
Sandra, I seem to remember you had some family visitors staying with you recently.
Yeah, that's right. My brother and his family were here a couple of months ago.
Okay, good. Well, I wanted to ask your advice. I've got my cousin and her family visiting next month, and as I don't have kids, I've no idea where to take them.
Right. What about accommodation? Are they going to stay with you in your flat?
No, thankfully. There wouldn't be room. My cousin wants me to recommend a hotel. Do you know anywhere?
Yes, I do actually. I always recommend people stay at the King's Hotel.
Where's that near?
It's about 5 minutes walk from Murray Station, so nice and central. It's actually on George Street.
Oh, yes, I know. I think they're on quite a tight budget, so how much roughly is it to stay there?
If you book a family room, it's about £125 per night. My brother paid for 2 double rooms in the end, and I think that was around £95 for each room.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So how old are your cousin's kids?
12 and 9. So I want to organise some trips while they're here. I was thinking of doing a bus tour of the city centre, as none of them have been here before.
Those bus tours are quite expensive. I think it's better to do a walking tour. It gives you a much better feel for the city. There's one that starts from Colton Square. It takes a couple of hours and doesn't cost that much.
Sounds good. I'll look that up, thanks.
If the weather's nice, one thing you could do is visit the old fort. You could get there by boat. The whole trip takes half a day.
That's a really good idea. I'd like to do that myself. And if the weather's bad, I was thinking they could go to the Science Museum. But maybe they could do that when I'm at work.
Yeah, don't forget, it's closed on Mondays.
They're here from Saturday for 4 nights, so Tuesday would be best, I think.
And it won't be so crowded then. Saturdays are terrible. I took my kids to the exhibition on old computers there, and it was far too crowded. I wanted to go back, but it's finished now.
That's a shame. My cousin's kids would have enjoyed that.
There's another one starting soon on space, which looks really good too.
Okay, well, I'll mention that to my cousin.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Have you thought about where to take them to eat?
Well, I really like all the food stalls at Clacton Market. My cousin's vegetarian. I know it's one of the best places for that kind of food.
Definitely, and there'll be loads of choice for the kids too. You need to get there quite early though. At the weekend, most of the stores stop serving lunch at 2:30.
Good point. It's all going to need careful planning. My cousin said she'd love to take the kids to a show at the theatre, but tickets are so expensive.
I know, but you can get some good deals if you book online with bargaintickets.com for the following day. On some seats, there's a 75% discount.
Really? I must try and get some.
Yeah, there are lots of things you can do for free as well. No need to spend a fortune.
Like what?
They're coming next month, right? Well, check and see if it's the same weekend as the Roots Music Festival in Blakewell Gardens.
ROOTS.
Yeah, check it out online. It's always a family-friendly event, and there's no entry charge.
That sounds perfect.
And if you're in Blakewell Gardens, climb Telegraph Hill. You'll be able to look right down on the port. Everyone's always really impressed because it's so huge.
Oh yeah, I've been...
Alright, I'll meet it from here because we've got all the answers here written. And I highlighted all the words that I heard from the recording. As you can see, pretty much everything we heard, exactly the way they are written in this form. Maybe it's because part 1, it's easy. So, but you need to be aware that we might not hear all the words the way they are in the recording and also in the questions. And you don't really need to highlight your words while you do your listening. I just did it so I could show where my mind was while I was listening to the recording. I was following through it. And that's it. I hope it was helpful. Let's now check. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 10 out of 10. Yep. And let's proceed to part 4. Let's start part 4.
Part 4. You will hear part...
Before it starts at the beginning with some introduction, I will read through the questions quickly. So the instruction is very important, one word only, and it's gonna be about the research in the area around the Chembe Bird Sanctuary. Okay. So the speaker will talk about the importance of birds of prey to local communities and say that they destroy something and other rodents. Okay, it's gonna be a name of an animal. Then they help prevent farmers from being bitten by, okay, something which bites. I think it's snakes, maybe, we'll see. And they now support the economy by encouraging something in the area. Alright, could be something, encouraging something, so it's a noun. And then falling numbers of birds of prey, the birds may be accidentally killed by something when hunting or sleeping. Alright. And then by electrocution, especially during times of high, something, again, it's a noun. And then local farmers may illegally shoot them, it's a verb. Or do something else, so it's a verb. And 7, providing air. So I think it's a noun, also in singular, because I have an article a here, which is used before singular nouns. And 8 is keeping a something, making a something, again, a singular noun. And also a something of methods is usually most effective. Alright, now let's start maybe.
And humans at the
Alright, so we
boundaries of
started.
protected areas, such as national parks and animal sanctuaries. I'd like to illustrate this by telling you about some research that I've been involved in recently in the Central African country of Zambia, in the area around the Chembe Bird Sanctuary, which contains over 300 of the listed birds of Zambia. These include a number of birds of prey, such as eagles, hawks, and owls, that live by hunting and killing other birds and animals. Now, most of the people living in the local communities near to the bird sanctuary are small-scale farmers, and these birds of prey provide important social and ecological benefits to them. For example, a lot of damage can be caused to farmers' crops by rodents, such as rats, which would consume the crops as they grow in the fields, as well as after harvesting if they weren't hunted and killed by the birds. And the predatory habits of these birds also protect farmers in other ways. For example, a major danger to rural workers is snakes, whose bite may be dangerous or even fatal, and birds of prey have a major role in keeping their populations under control. Local people have always been aware of these benefits, and for years, even before the sanctuary was opened in 1973, the birds played a key role in the culture of the region. However, more recently, the sanctuary and its birds have also become increasingly important to the community in economic terms, because at present, after a relatively slow start, tourism has become an important source of revenue for them. However, although these birds of prey are protected by the government, their numbers are falling. Some of these deaths are accidental. Fatalities occur when birds alight on roads to catch and eat their prey and are hit by fast-moving traffic. Drivers in Zambia have to take special care at night, as birds may regard the quieter roads as safe places to sleep. Accidental deaths may also occur if these birds fly close to high-voltage power lines, as they may be electrocuted. This is a particular danger in the heavy rain, which can occur in the region in the months from December to April. And local farmers also pose a threat to these birds. As well as growing crops, small-scale farmers in the area also rear chickens. These provide food for the farmers' families, as well as being an important source of income. But they're also an easy target for birds of prey, and so farmers may shoot these birds, which is illegal but understandable, or they may poison the birds, which again is illegal and can have negative effects on the ecosystem. So, how else can farmers protect their chickens from birds of prey? Some people believe that to prevent the predators from settling near the area where the chickens are kept, it's best to keep this area free from vegetation. But in fact, this is counterproductive, as it means the chickens have no cover to hide in, and they'll be easier for the birds to see. Another possibility would be to prevent the chickens from going outside at all, and to keep them safe from predators inside a building. But this would cost far too much to be a practical solution. Nearly all the farmers reported that they spent a lot of time and effort trying to frighten off the birds of prey without actually harming them. Most of the farmers had at least one dog and said this was a big help at scaring away the predators. Some of the farmers also reported that during the breeding season, when the chickens were particularly vulnerable, they encouraged their children to watch over the chickens and to hit pans with a metal spoon so that the resulting noise would succeed in driving away birds that were trying to seize the young chicks. None of these methods was 100% effective, so as a result, the village people told us that rather than just using one method, they were forced to use a combination for them to have any effect. And even so, these birds of prey remain a major threat to the chickens' survival and cause considerable economic loss to farmers. So we looked at the possibility of a longer-term solution to...
Alright, that's the end of part 4.
That is
And I just want to give you some tricks that I usually use for part 4 of this listening. So the first one is not be right. It might not be right, but I hear it that way, that the answers that we put here, rats, snakes, tourism, I heard them being said with some emphasis on them. So they were stressed. I could hear them clearly, and the voice of the speaker was a bit raised when she was saying these words. And the second trick that I also use is to be aware of the second gap words, keywords, because while I'm listening to the first part, I might just skip the answer for the question. But then, as I'm listening and spot some keywords from the next question here, I immediately shift my focus to the second question here. So I might not have got the first question right, but I don't also have time to waste on that, because listening does not wait. I have to move along with the recording, question by question. Okay, that's it. Oh, also one more thing, that we here highlighted some keywords that we heard from the listening, but we also heard that some words were not exactly the way they were written here. So they were paraphrased, they were synonyms or different words giving the same meaning but in different ways. So it's also important that we understand what's being said, not only try to catch the words. Okay, and so that's all for part 4. Thank you for your attention. Hope that you will also get, let's say, 10 out of 10 for each part. Okay, bye.